Welcome to WIP Wednesday. This is normally just a WIP and chat. If you're new to my channel, I just kind of talk about what's been going on, kind of background, almost like a vlog, but not really. And then, of course, those of you who aren't new to the channel already know what WIP Wednesday is. One question I do get asked a lot is, what does WIP mean? It's WIP, work in progress. So I haven't done one of these for a while, and even the last one I did, I think it had been a few months in between. I am really trying to get back to these because I know a lot of you enjoy them, and so I thought I'd kind of give you guys an update on why I haven't been doing as many WIP Wednesdays and whatnot. But first we need to decide what WIP we're going to work on. So I have my calendar here. Now I am filming this on Halloween, so technically the month's not over yet. I need to belt this out today with my Spectrum Noir Tri-Blends. Really love using those markers, by the way, on these little countdown calendars from Yana Prosperina. So I have that, or I have a few pictures that I know look done, but they aren't. They need backgrounds. Not all of them though. Let's see, this one needs a background for sure. Otherwise, she's just sitting there floating on a moon. This one needs a background for sure. This one has some little doodads here that I want to finish with some gold. I don't know if I want to do a background on this one, though. I am really on the fence. I'm going to put this one off to the side. And then this one, ooh, I don't know if this one needs a background either. Well, these two do for sure. You know, let's do backgrounds because I avoid backgrounds like the plague, and I know I'll do this no matter what. So I'm going to grab some background supplies to work on the two of these, and then, yeah, I will get talking. You know, one thing I thought would be helpful to you guys, WIP and chats aren't really meant to be like tutorials or anything, but I thought maybe I should show you guys how I pick some backgrounds. Not that I am the background queen. I actually quite suck at them. But in my opinion, I'm debating. So I'm trying to go with like all pink for this. This is a Halloween image, but Halloween doesn't have to be black, orange, and purple. I don't want to use pan pastels. I'm kind of between gelatos. Ooh, my king art. Let's see. Actually, this smoke color would actually look... I'm going for something real subtle here. Excuse me. Smoke would look good, but if I do gelatos, I can't use distress inks. So I'm just trying to compare colors here. I also like just the gray. I want her to stand out is where I'm going with that. The baby pink. Now this is fully concentrated, meaning I rubbed the gel crayon right onto the paper. I don't even think I swatched my other 24 king arts. I'm getting lazy, y'all. But so they're gonna look a lot more muted than they do here. But I really like the smoke color because that'll help make everything pop. So I think, yeah, I think I will do gel crayons on this one. So I'm gonna grab my smoke. Ooh, maybe blush. I'm just pulling from the pink that's here in her dress. Maybe ivory. Yeah, you're learning a lot right now, aren't you? Or I could even do purple. Oh, see, now we're just going down a path. All right, well, I'm thinking on that. I know for this one, so when I had originally started this one, I wanted an afternoon sun. And then when I I colored it in, I was like, wow, that thing is bright. So yeah, I was kind of going for like an afternoon, like dusk, you know, setting. So I kind of want to like get purples in here. Now, the one thing you have to be careful of with purple coming over onto orange is you're going to make brown. So that was my one worry, is that I would make brown coming across that. So I think I'm going to grab my Dusty Concord, because I want to go for really dark colors here. So I'm going to grab my Dusty Concord. Originally I was going to put orange in it, but now looking at that would just be too much orange. And the problem is with yellow here, again, run into that issue where if they blend too much, I'm going to get brown. So I think I'm going to add Dusty Concord. We're just going to have to go with a blue, because if I do a gray, that's more of a night scene, and we're doing like I'm trying to get it like, you know, where the sun, just as it's going down, how it just gets so bright, but it's like almost dark outside. I guess for those of you who live next to the ocean, you know what I'm talking about, that kind of sun where it kind of reflects against the ocean, so it just looks like it's on fire. It is on fire technically, but you know what I meant. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna do Dusty Concord, and let's just spend 10 minutes of my WIP Wednesday picking colors and not talking about anything else. All right, yep, I think I've picked. All right, I will be back with those colors, and then I can update you guys. Okay, so I got my supplies. It's been a while since I've done a WIP Wednesday, so out of practice. Okay, so I am using, for this one here, this is by Zindy Zone on Etsy. I forget the name of the actual image, but it's not necessarily a Halloween image. It kind of feels Halloweenish. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do these two pastel colors here for my King Art gel crayons. So what I like to do is just put down the gel crayon. Wow, these are so creamy. I use the Crayon Dash palette, the rough side. If you don't want to spend 12 bucks on a Crayon Dash palette, just go to your dollar store, get a cutting board that has that rough side, just so it pulls the pigment off. You just can't use something smooth, basically. But there's way cheaper ways than the Crayon Dash palette. I just like the Crayon Dash palette. I'm going to use a bigger brush because I don't really have anything super delicate to work around. In fact, I don't think I've ever even used this brush. All right, so I'm just going to kind of alternate the colors and hope I made a good choice. All right, so it's been a rough couple of weeks for me. You know, actually, I would say, actually 2022 has just been rough in general. Gosh, does anyone else feel like 2022 is just like flying on by as well? Because it's like Halloween today, and that came out of nowhere. Like, I had plans to order like a shirt, a funny shirt, because I wear a funny shirt every year for Halloween, and all of a sudden it was like Thursday, this is last week, and I was like, crap, I don't have time, it won't get here in time. And this isn't something I'll find locally, the shirt. And yeah, it's nuts how fast this year has gone by. Halloween just popped up. I mean, it was October out of nowhere. But I've been on and off sick, as I'm sure a lot of you have noticed if you follow my channel for a while. You know, and I always kind of giggle when some of you are like, sick again? It's like, yep, yes I am. Trust me, no one's more frustrated than myself. I mean, heck, I had COVID in, what, August? For the second time. Lovely. And this last time, So I had caught my daughter's cold, and then she had pink eye too. And I kid you not, I was wearing like hazmat level gear when I was giving her drops and like doing just about anything because I did not want pink eye. Didn't touch my eyes, washed my hands religiously. I mean, I did everything. Told my other kids and husband, you know, don't touch your eyes, spraying every surface with sanitizer, and I caught the pink eye. Like, no one else in the house, aside from, you know, patient 0, my daughter, caught pink eye either. Now, I have a crappy immune system. I'm aware of that. Dealt with it. Come to terms. But for Pete's sake, I did everything to avoid that pink eye. I almost feel like I should have not done anything, and then maybe I wouldn't have gotten it. But I caught pink eye, and I haven't had pink eye. I think I had it one other time as an adult. But yeah, I mean, we're talking like decades ago. So long ago that I did not remember. Pink eye hurts. Like, when it came on, I felt like I had something in my eye. And I kept looking at my eye, and I was like, kind of like an eyelash in my eye or something. But it hurt really bad. And then all of a sudden the goop started coming, and I was like, oh crap, I've caught pink eye, the signature goop. And then from there, I kid you not, within like a 10-hour window, I went from fine to, like, I cannot explain the pain in my eyeballs. They felt like sandpaper. Like, anytime I blinked, I, honest to God, teared up, which, by the way, does not help when you have pink eye. But, like, it hurt so bad. Every time I blinked, I felt like my eyelids were made of sandpaper. I got on the medicated drops. You know, I was using those 4 times a day. My eyes really didn't itch. They swelled up, though, really, really bad. And then it got to the point where I couldn't see. Like, they were so swollen and so blurry, I literally couldn't see anything. I was sitting there, about all I could do was lay in bed and listen to an audiobook, and that was it. And it was really depressing, because normally if I'm in bed sick, you know, I color or diamond paint or watch a show. Couldn't do any of those things. And it was kind of scary too, because the blurriness was so bad. Like, I'd wake up in the morning and it was semi-okay. I could squint and sort of see stuff in front of me. But by the evening, I could not see at all. And it was kind of scary, because it was like, is this ever going to go away? Like, you know, it starts making you think, like, what happens if I did lose my ability to see? You know, and all those thoughts go racing through your head. And when you're sitting there with nothing better to do, that's not the best. But, yeah, I was like legit concerned I was going to go blind or something. And then, the blurriness and bad vision lasted about 5 days and finally went away. But the cold, because here I am with a cold on top of it, turns into bronchitis. And I have had bronchitis, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 times this year. And so the doctor was like, you know, you had asthma as a kid, and we've noticed some adults, especially as they get older. I was like, gee, thanks. Had to shove that in there. Their asthma comes back to haunt them when they catch upper respiratory infections. And so he was thinking, instead of bronchitis, it's actually my asthma from when I was a kid flaring up. I was like, well, that's great, doc. You know, what every person wants to hear. And so, yeah, that's his theory. But either way, I was on a ton of medications for the cough, inhaler for the breathing, and I was just like, I've had it with being sick. Like, I really have, and I got pretty depressed while I was sick. I couldn't film anything, so I could barely walk to the bathroom without being winded. No way I was going to make it upstairs to an art room. But yeah, I just got really depressed, and while I was sitting there unable to see, I had plenty of time to do a lot of self-reflection, and I just decided that I need to get my health under control. I ran away for a second to grab some iridescence. Needs glitter or something. So yeah, I need to get my health under control. Since COVID, so just before COVID, I actually was in like really good shape, better shape than before having any of my kids kind of thing. So it was like, you know, a personal accomplishment. I was into fitness. Yeah, I was healthy. I wasn't getting as sick as often back then. And then COVID happened. And, you know, a lot of us put on the COVID weight, as we all call it. But I can't really use COVID as an excuse anymore. That was almost 3 years ago. So it's time to step on from that. But I did put on a lot of weight from COVID. I will admit that. You know, I did a lot of stress eating during COVID, as I'm sure a lot of us did. But I have kind of continued those bad habits, continued the bad habits of just stress eating or just sitting there and not really getting movement, because I have a desk job, which is never good for your health. In fact, they came out with a study not too long ago saying sitting is basically the new smoking. Like it's really bad for you, obviously, because you're not moving. Bodies are meant to move. But yeah, I used to move. I used to have a treadmill desk. Like, I used to be active, and now I'm just plop. and it's starting to show. So like before COVID, oh yeah, that's much better, much better. Before COVID, I weighed like 125 pounds. I'm a small person, by the way. I'm 5'2", and that's just me being generous and rounding up from my 5'1 3/4". I'm pretty sure I actually probably shrunk more now that I'm getting older, but hey, I'm 5'2" until someone tells me otherwise. But I used to weigh 125 pounds, and now I weigh 177 pounds. So that's a lot of weight to put on in 2 years, and it's obviously impacted my health, you know, and I've just been putting it off. And half the time I want to get better, but I just keep getting sick. Like, I'll start working out and walking or getting on some sort of regimen, I get sick. And then most of the time I catch a cold, it turns into bronchitis. So I then have to wait to get better. Like right now, I still can't even work out because I get winded walking up the stairs. And I can't even take my dogs for a walk, and the weather's perfect for that right now. But I can't because my lungs are so screwed up from this cold. So yeah, I've decided that I got to make some changes, and just kind of find a way to get back in shape, but also just take care of my health in general, because my problem is despite the fact that I sit a lot, I don't give myself a lot of breaks. Like, you know, I'm constantly doing something for the kids, like dealing with my son's soccer, or, you know, working, or filming videos, or, like, the only me time I get is a little bit on the weekends when soccer's not taking up all my time. And yes, I'm going out of the lines here because I just don't care. You know, but usually Sunday is like me time, or really late after I've gotten the kids in bed. But I go to bed early because I like to wake up at 5:30. But I don't do anything for me at that 5:30 time. I used to. And I started thinking about like all the fit habits. I use air quotes because it's not necessarily fit, but it's self-care, which is part of fitness. But all the habits I used to do, like I used to never wake up in the morning and go straight to work. I work from home, so obviously I can just roll out of bed and walk over to my desk if I want, but I used to not do that. I used to get up, color, read a book, heck, watch the news when I was just feeling lazy, diamond paint, paint with watercolors. Basically, while I was drinking my morning coffee, I was not working. I was doing something for me. If I was on the computer, I was like playing a video game or something for those first few hours of the morning, you know, like, and I would always journal. I used to always journal. I'm a big believer in brain dumping, and that just means like, I would just dump all my thoughts in the morning into my journal so that they weren't in my head while I was trying to work all day, because I have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, and those of us with OCD cannot let things go. Like legit, just can't do it. Yeah, there's coping mechanisms, but you know what? That thing's gonna haunt you no matter what you do. But journaling in the morning helped me focus throughout the day because I got it off my chest. I brain dumped, just dumped it into my journal, and it was there. It was in my journal. I got it off my chest. I could come back to it later or not, because sometimes by just getting it off my chest in my journal, I was fine and just went on with life. Other times, no, I had to still address it later, but at least I got it off my plate. I'm gonna try and get some purple over here into the moon edge. Ugh. Ugh. It's mixing with the wax in a way I don't want it to mix. But yeah, so that was kind of how I would approach it. I don't do that anymore either. Now I wake up, I still wake up at the same time, but I grab my coffee and then I just sit down and work. And then I've also noticed that I do apologize if I'm rambling. I didn't like take notes or make little bullet points to keep myself on point today. Because I'm running out of time and I feel like I'm a chicken with my head cut off half the time. And this is exactly the point I'm trying to make. I sit down and just start working with my coffee, so I don't even get like my morning ritual in anymore. It's just straight, hi coffee, here's work. And part of me does that because my brain knows I have a to-do list with work, and I cannot relax without that to-do list just off my chest. And so like lately I've just been like, no, I gotta sit down and work. I gotta work. But I've gotten into this really bad habit of not stopping for myself. And the problem is it's actually ruined my productivity. I actually spend more hours of the day working now and getting less done than I did before. And I believe that's because, one, I'm not scheduling self-care time, which, you know, obviously is important, but I'm not strategically, like planning out my day. Not that I need to plan hour by hour. I have 3 kids, 3 huskies. There's no such thing as a set schedule. But what I mean is, like, you know, I'll write a list of to-dos every week. I fill out my planner still, but the problem is I just never get anything done. So I never walk away from the day feeling accomplished. And so that's something I've been working with my therapist lately, because every week this planner I use says, what's your main goal for the week? And I would say for the last 2 months, I've been writing feel accomplished, because I haven't been feeling accomplished. And even when I accomplish something, like something on my goals or to-do list, I don't feel accomplished. Like there was one Monday where I got all my to-dos done. I even worked out on my rowing machine. That's what makes it sad. I've gained all this weight and I have a gym in my basement. That's for another day. But I didn't feel accomplished at the end of the day. I almost felt like defeated because I was like, yeah, I got all that stuff done, but I can't do that tomorrow. Like, it makes no sense. I should have been like, I got all that stuff done, but instead I was like, ugh, I can't do that tomorrow. I'm wiped out. Or I got appointments that'll get in the way. I won't be able to do this. You know, just negative Nancy over there. And then even when my channel hit 10,000 subscribers, for example, that was always a goal of mine. And I always sat there and I didn't feel accomplished. I was like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do this. And so lately I've just been feeling down, not depressed, just, I think my anxiety has finally peaked to a point of burnout. And that's what my therapist actually ended up saying, is I am suffering from burnout because, you know, I've got underlying health issues, which never help because then you're like, I can't get anything done because, well, I'm always sick. But then to boot, you know, I've got, I'm just burned out because my stress has worn me down so much to the point where I'm burned out and I can't celebrate the good milestones. So that has been kind of what I'm working through right now. I'm going to try a little of this iridescent gelato on top of this. See what I think. We'll see. So yeah, I've been falling behind on my emails, replying to comments. Some of you may have noticed I haven't been streaming lately. Does that even show up? Let's get a little more on brush. And that's just because I've been so overwhelmed with everything. And it's not just the channel. So like, I know I had made a post like, you know, I'm catching up on things, but it's not just the channel. I've just kind of found myself suddenly struggling to balance my work, my channel, my kids, my house, you know, home ownership. Got to clean that thing you live in. You know, just all the things that are on my plate, I've suddenly been struggling. So I think it's just all come to a head and piled up. And then, you know, I've been managing or band-aiding my way through to the point where I've burnt myself out. So I'm now working on unburning. That doesn't make sense. Getting myself out of that feeling. And it's going to be a long process. So basically the moral of this story is, if it does take me a while to reply to comments, emails, I have an inbox right now. Every time I sit down and look at the inbox, I'm like, oh my gosh. And I walk away. I will get back to all your emails. That's why I put that message in my community tab, just saying, hey, I'm sorry I've fallen behind. I've fallen behind on everything, even buddy colors this month. This is actually a buddy color. It's done now. I did this with Jen from Jen's Coloring Corner. Wow, I can't even think today. I'll tag her below, but we had a buddy color page and I'm finishing it on Halloween, but I finished it. So I guess I should say kudos there. But I have several other buddy colors, including my own channel buddy color. I haven't even started. And yeah, it's just been incredibly overwhelming. And I've just been kind of band-aiding my way through it. And I finally hit the point where it's like, okay, I need to stop and like reassess, slow down. And it's funny because a lot of people are like, oh, well then just stop posting to your channel. But the thing is actually the channel doesn't stress me out. It actually makes me happy. So when I can't post videos or create content or live stream, I actually get bummed out because I really enjoy this portion of my life. It's just everything else is in the way right now and preventing me from being able to do what I enjoy. And then also I am getting so bogged down with things that I can't get art time for me. I do a lot of my art on my channel, but you know, I do art for therapy. And lately I've gotten to the point where the only time I'm working on something is on camera or for the channel. So meaning like it's a project I plan to debut for the channel, or it's a buddy color, or, you know, it's something for the channel, not necessarily just me. So, you know, like I've kind of hit that roadblock where anything I'm working on, I'm like, is this for me or the channel? And it's like, oh, it's for the channel. Or at the end of September, for example, I felt myself like, oh, I really need to finish some pages so I have pages to show on my completed pages video, which is obviously silly. I don't have to finish anything. Do we think I'm going to spray this or not? Obviously I don't have to do or complete anything. I'm going to spray it. But that was kind of how my brain was working lately. It was like, oh my gosh, I don't have enough pages for a completed pages video. And then I was thinking, that's so ridiculous that I'm sitting here coloring pages just to make sure I have content for a completed pages video. I could just skip a month. There's no requirement to have a coloring channel where you must complete X number of pages or have a finished pages video every month. So I understand how ridiculous that is. But that's kind of where my brain got. So I was making it harder than it needed to be, basically, is where I'm going with that. I think there was something I was going to accent on one of these, and I can't remember. Oh no, it was this one. So yeah, I've just been kind of in a rut, we'll say. But I'm hoping that things will get better. And I do apologize if this makes zero sense and I just rambled on for, you know, 30 minutes about nothing, but I do absolutely love making videos, love, you know, being on my channel. So don't think that, and I'm not taking a break from my channel. I'm trying to find ways, I guess, to make more room for my self-care. And my channel is almost kind of like my self-care, but I don't want it to be directly tied to my self-care. But I do want to find a way to make more time for me. Like, so this week, my goal was to not wake up and go straight to work. You know, start spending time in the morning doing whatever. If that means just spending 10 minutes journaling, that's fine, because my brain gotten so, you know, so used to starting off the day with work that I'm kind of like, work, like work's waiting for you, it's calling for you. So I'm trying to retrain my brain that it's okay if I wake up and I don't start work for 2 hours, you know, or not, something similar to that. Like, I've even thought of like making a rule, you don't start work till the kids go to school. So the morning, that way I'm not, you know, taking it out on the kids. Cause like there's times I'll yell at the kids cause I'm like, I'm working. And then I'll stop and be like, okay, I can help them get ready. I work from home and nothing I'm working on has to be done within the next 10 minutes, but I just get into work mode. So basically I'm trying to find a healthier relationship between me and my home office that doesn't consume me. And that is one of the drawbacks of working from home. There's no line. Like, you know, if you work in an office, you work when you go to that office, like physically drive there, take a bus, however you transport yourself there. Like, work doesn't start till you're there, and then it ends when you leave. When you work at home, it's always there. Like, it's just calling your name. And me, being one of the types that just, if I know there's work to be done, I get it done, which is a great employee asset feature. I don't know. It's great for employers to have someone with that mindset, but at the same time, it's not very healthy for me. Because I have to be able to say, no, I'm not working right now, or take a break. I don't even take a lunch break. I eat my lunch at my desk. And it's actually one of the reasons I'm less productive is because I'm just constantly working and not taking a break. And again, this never used to be an issue for me. It's just kind of compounded and become one. So I'm trying to work my way back to a healthier work-home balance, but also self-care balance because I am burned out. Even like minor tasks are draining, and I guess that's what indicates to you that you are burnt out, is like when a really simple task that is just ridiculous that you're too tired or overwhelmed to handle it is too much. I mean, that's pretty much a good indicator you're suffering burnout. Like for me, you know, I have to have things clean in my house. If they're not, I just mentally cannot focus. Well, the problem is lately, those messes drain me so much mentally that I physically can't tackle them. And then I'm stressed because they're still not done. And then I'm upset because I don't have the energy to tackle them. And do you see the evil little spiral you get into? It goes into more depth than that, but I'm trying to give you the short end. Otherwise, we'll be here for 2 hours talking about it. But that's kind of where my brain is right now. And so I am so burnt out on my own vicious hamster wheel, as I like to call it, that like I can't get anything done. And yeah, so I am prioritizing self-care, but obviously I have to work. I do have bills, those unfortunate little things that keep popping up in adulthood. Remember when you were a kid and you're like, oh, I can't wait to be an adult and be in charge of my life. And now I'm like, why did I ever want that? Mortgage, car payment, insurance. What is this? No one warned me about this, even though my mom did. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm prioritizing my self-care and still trying to do what I love, which is, you know, my channel and coloring and diamond painting and watercolor. I have a lot of hobbies I love. Luckily, they're all in the art spectrum and I can use materials I already own for them. But still. But yeah, I don't want to make this whip and chat too long because I just feel like I'm rambling at this point, but I do apologize, you know, if you've emailed me and I haven't responded. You are in my inbox. I've been slowly chipping away at that as I can. I'm trying to catch up, but I'm not gonna like say I will get to everyone by Friday because that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I am going from the bottom, so like the oldest gets replied to in order. But I'm trying, like I've set a goal of sitting down and giving myself 15 minutes, and that's it, 15 minutes to tackle my inbox, 15 minutes to work on my comments on YouTube, because as my channel grows, I'm getting lots more comments, and I like to reply to every single comment. It's always been a goal of mine, possibly will be unrealistic as I get further along, who knows. I actually really enjoy communicating with you guys and getting to know you guys. So that's going to be my goal, as big as my channel can get, even if it takes 5 days to reply to you. I just want to be able to reply. So, you know, I give myself 15 minutes to work through comments on that, and then 15 minutes to go through all my social inboxes. That's Facebook and Instagram and all that. So yeah, if you've sent a message and you're like, oh, she hasn't responded, that is why. I'm working my way through it, and I will get to it. It's just, you'll have to be patient with me while I kind of slowly try and catch my breath and get on track. but I will get there. And then, yeah, I have so many videos I've actually recorded and I haven't edited. Some I'm just gonna scrap because I'm like, well, it's not really Halloween anymore. This isn't really relevant, which kind of sucks because I spent the time making the video, but maybe I'll save it for next year. But yeah, I hope you guys can be patient. I do have a lot of ideas in the works. I do have the watercolor battle, don't worry. Just trying to get myself back on track and then kind of go from there, because I don't want to fully burn out to the point where I just completely break down, because basically that's what I think I'm on the verge of. And that's why I'm like, okay, I need to start taking care of myself. You know, I need to lose weight and get my health in order, because like I said, something that was eye-opening for me was when I was on the phone with my doctor. Well, it wasn't my doctor, it was a fill-in doctor, but that's irrelevant. I was on the phone with a doctor, and I had to give them my weight so they could assess which medication to give me. And she was like, okay, with your height and your weight, you are technically considered obese. And I was like, oh, okay. That was kind of eye-opening to me because, you know I put on weight. I have to wear my husband's shirts. I refuse to go buy new shirts because, darn it, I'm going to lose weight and wear my old clothes. But I have to wear my husband's shirts and my yoga pants from back when I was pregnant. So I'm well aware I've gained a lot of weight. My wedding ring doesn't fit, and that actually really depresses me. My wedding ring and engagement ring don't fit. So and back in the day, they used to be so loose, they would roll around my finger all the time. At least my engagement ring would constantly be under here. And now I can't even get it on without, well, risking having to go to my husband's work and have him cut it off. So I'm definitely trying to prioritize that and just, you know, eat healthier, start getting some exercise, and hopefully improve my health so I quit getting so sick, because this last bout of sickness was kind of eye-opening for me. And let me know I really need to start making some changes for my mental health, but also my physical health, because I can't keep getting sick like this where I'm out for weeks, you know, constantly fighting ailments and every bug, or getting so stressed out to the point where I'm burned out and can't function. So I definitely have to work on some stuff, but I just wanted to let you guys know where I'm at and how I'm doing. I am okay. But yeah, just, you know, I'm not gonna like set a schedule. I've got a backlog of editing to do and a backlog of videos to film, including a video with these brushes I bought myself as a present because they are so Harry Potter-ish. Are these not the coolest things you've ever seen? It's like a Harry Potter wand, but it's a watercolor brush. These were not cheap. These are handmade, hand carved. Yeah, they're beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. But I'm just in love with these things. They're so cool. But that's another video I gotta do. So yeah. I do have videos to do. I haven't forgot about anything I promised you guys. I have a list, so it's not like I just say, yeah, and then walk away. I have a list. But yeah, just be patient with me if you're waiting for a response or anything like that. I'm hoping I can get back into the groove, kick myself out of this little burnt out rut. But there's a lot of things I got to work on, and I have to be realistic that they can't all be done in one day. It took me 2 years to gain this much weight, for example. It's going to take just as much time, if not longer, to shed it all. So, at least in the healthy way. But yeah, I've got lots of things to work on, lots of things on my mind. but the channel does make me happy. All of you in my community make me happy, and I'm hoping I can get back on track with everything and interact with you guys more. But I am going to end this now because I'm like 45 minutes of rambling, and I have recorded this, I think this is the 4th week I've recorded, and I'm going to put this one up no matter what. I told myself, because I keep recording it and then I'm like, oh, I just rambled. And I felt like a woe is me, and I'm not trying to come off that way. I'm just trying to explain why I've kind of been so wishy-washy, and floppy isn't the word, but yeah, you know what I mean. So I'm just gonna post this as I promised myself, and yeah. But thanks for hanging out. We did finish some WIPs. So this one is done now. I really don't think it needs a background. I don't know, it's really bugging me if it should or shouldn't. Let me know in the comments below if you have any ideas. Oh, construction. For a background for this one, but this one is done. It may not show as well on camera, but there is purple in there and some iridescence, but they might not show up. You just let that air dry, those gel crayons. And then this gal is now done because I added the metallic shimmer to those pieces. And I have no intention of putting a background on this one. And then of course, this one's done. Now I have tons of other pictures. I need to take pictures for Instagram. So much to do. But at least I knocked out 4 WIPs in one 45-minute-ish video. So hey, kudos to me. That's like a piece per 10 minutes. But thanks for listening to me ramble and hang out and keep me company while I finished all these WIPs. And until next time, everyone, take care. Bye now.